It is my great pleasure to welcome all of you this evening to this gala event, which we hope to have every single year, to honor a great saint, St. Francis of Assisi, who is now the sponsor, or rather the patron of our tuition assistance fund for the Diocese of Tulsa. We hope that you have a good time this evening and that you all share with one another your love for Catholic education, because you see the great need, especially today, that a Catholic child receive 5 days a week a Catholic education.
I could give some testimonies of people who have come to our school and they are looking for a better life for their children. They've come from all different areas of the city, all different walks of life, and some have more difficult stories than others, but they're all after the same thing, and they're after what we have.
Catholic schools give a child not something that is purely intellectual or academic, but in a Catholic school we can touch the heart as no one else can with Jesus Christ, so that a child grows up with hope even in difficult situations.
I know one lady who came to me last year whose husband was a roofer, and he had a tragic accident and fell and died, and they had 4 children to support. She came to me in tears looking for a better life because she could no longer sustain them and give them all they needed. And the boys were young, and so our school was able to offer them help because of the St. Francis Fund. It made it possible for these children and this mother, this widow, to walk away and know that the children were going to be taken care of at our school.
Catholic education does not end with religion class. The Catholic faith is infused into the entire day, so that every time a child goes from one class to another, whether it be arithmetic or reading or geography, Christ is always present, and the child is always reminded, not only by the crucifix on the wall, but by the words of the teacher and the demeanor of the teacher, that Christ is present and loving this person throughout the entire day.
I guess it was 2 years ago, in 2006, 2007, we had all 6 going to school. So you can imagine what kind of financial pressure that puts on you. Without the Assisi Fund, we wouldn't be able to send our kids to Catholic high schools, and it's very important to us that we do.
To me, the Catholic faith is the most important thing in our life.
The school is everything. They become part of the school, and the school becomes part of them. It's like a family. It's a community. It's a faith-filled community. And, for example, one woman I know who has 5 children, she came, and her husband works very hard. He's a landscaper. And the mother works over at Bama Pie. And I'll never forget the way she came to me concerned, because they were unable to afford the full tuition, and they could pay as much as they possibly could as far as their income allowed them. And they were willing to make that sacrifice because they made less than $30,000 with the 5 children and the 2 incomes coming in. And it was like the widow in the Gospel of Jesus who comes and throws her widow's mite down, which is just a little bit of money, and that was all she could do. And she told me that when she's working on the assembly line at Bama Pie, she's thinking of her children, and she's happy now because they're in a Catholic school where she knows they're going to be educated not just in math and reading and social studies and the standard curriculum, but in the faith. They're going to learn how to learn about the life of Jesus, how to live Christian virtues, how to love God and love their neighbor, and they're getting so much more than they would get in a public school.
When Mary graduated, my oldest graduated from 8th grade, we saw the cost of Bishop Kelly, and we thought, there's no way we can send her there. And then I said, well, let's just apply. And so we did that, and then the St. Francis Fund kicked in, and we saw how much we had to make, and thought, we can do that. And I got a little part-time job, and we did it, and everything's worked out.
Eventually, when the person, this little boy or girl, graduates from 8th grade or from 4th year high school, they go out into the world with a sense that Jesus is always present. That's our goal, that our young people pray constantly, thanking God for His love for them. And this is why Catholic education is so important.
For families like ours and for other families with a number of children in Catholic schools, the St. Francis of Assisi Fund makes it possible to continue to educate your kids in Catholic schools.
The school, a Catholic school, is based on faith. We teach, our mission is to teach children the Christian faith and to get them to live Christian lives. And so when we do that, when we do our job of teaching the faith, the St. Francis Fund, you people that are donating through your generosity to this fund, you give them hope. And that hope adds up to something that's like a mathematical equation. You have faith plus hope. Then there's one thing that equals, and St. Paul tells us that. And it's the greatest thing of all, and that is love. Because St. Paul says there's faith, hope, and love, and we provide a place where they can grow in the faith, and you provide them, with your assistance, you provide them hope. And then the result is love. And that's what we want in our society, is children who are growing in that environment to where they grow up and they know how to love God and to love their neighbor. And that's what they get through a Catholic education.
These grants to families who are struggling to send their children to Catholic schools not only assist their children, making it possible for them to go to a Catholic school, but in some cases keep schools open.
The St. Francis of Assisi Trust, as Bishop Slattery mentioned, has as its patron St. Francis of Assisi. And I know that everyone knows this prayer, and we prayed it tonight. And I'd like to ask everyone to remember in that prayer and to pray it every day for our Catholic schools and the children that go to our schools, because it is the crux, the core, the heart of our prayer life. St. Francis says, "Make me an instrument of your peace." And then he goes on, and this has to do with each one of you because this is what you're doing. He says, "Bring joy where there is sadness." And that's what, when you do give a donation to the Tuition Trust, you're bringing joy to families that would otherwise not have this joy. You're bringing them joy, and that takes the clouds of sadness away. And it's a very positive thing you're doing for not just the Catholic schools, but for everyone in our society. And so I want to say thank you for your donation, and I ask you to keep praying for us that this fund continues to grow and that God blesses each one of you and your families as well.
Thank you for supporting Catholic education.